The Vatican is hiding something it was never supposed to keep. For 4 centuries, the most powerful institution in human history has been sitting on documents that don't just challenge our understanding of religion, they obliterate everything we thought we knew about where we came from, why we're here, and who has been watching us the entire time. These aren't theories. These aren't rumors. These are files, internal memos, classified correspondence, anatomical drawings of beings that shouldn't exist, technical schematics for technology that defies the laws of physics as we know them, and buried inside over 400 years of forbidden archives, the phrase non-human intelligence appears 17 times. They tried to keep this buried forever. Tonight, it's unleashed. It's 1917. Portugal. 3 shepherd children claim to be receiving visions from a divine presence. 70,000 witnesses gather and report seeing the sun spiral and plunge toward the earth in what becomes known as the miracle of the sun, one of the most documented mass phenomenon events in human history. But while the world was watching the sky over Fatima, something else was being quietly recorded inside the Vatican. A Vatican astronomer filed an internal report describing unusual aerial phenomena occurring simultaneously with the children's visions. His language is striking. He doesn't use the word miracle. He writes about divine emissaries possessing knowledge that transcends human understanding. That's not religious language. That's observational language. And here's where it gets interesting. Cross-referencing Vatican records from that same period reveals a pattern. Every major papal decision between 1917 and 1952 was preceded by documented sightings of unusual aerial phenomena. The establishment of the Pontifical Academy of Sciences in 1936, the restructuring of the Vatican's astronomical division in 1948, the creation of a new classified archive section in 1952, each one tied to a sighting, each one sealed from public record. Then a Vatican archivist gained access to a section of the deep archives she was not authorized to enter. Before her sudden disappearance 3 months later, she managed to photograph dozens of documents. What those photographs show is deeply unsettling. Technical diagrams, propulsion schematics, energy source blueprints that don't correspond to any known physics, and anatomical drawings. Humanoid figures with enlarged craniums, elongated limbs, and features that are almost, but not quite, human. The most disturbing document in her collection is a 1954 internal memo from Pope Pius XII to Cardinal Spellman. It reads, "The covenant with the non-terrestrial intelligences must remain absolute. Their technological gifts have elevated our understanding of creation itself, but humanity is not prepared for this knowledge." What covenant? What technological gifts? And why did Cardinal Spellman destroy 17 boxes of related documents just hours before the Second Vatican Council opened in 1962? December 1978. 3 of the Vatican's most powerful cardinals die within 48 hours of each other. Cardinal Jean Villot, Cardinal John Cody, Cardinal Sebastiano Baggio. The official cause of death for all 3, cardiac arrest. But the medical documentation that emerged decades later tells a different story. Each cardinal exhibited identical and deeply unusual symptoms in their final hours. Fixed, dilated pupils locked on a point approximately 30 degrees above the horizon. Elevated neurological activity in regions of the brain associated with pattern recognition and language processing. And body temperatures registering 7 degrees below normal human range. The same symptoms, 3 different men, 48 hours apart. But the most significant finding came from unauthorized brain scans performed after their deaths. Each cardinal showed an identical neurological anomaly, a crystalline structure embedded in the temporal lobe that had not appeared on any previous medical examination. When researchers attempted to extract tissue samples from these structures, they dissolved instantly, leaving behind a residue containing elemental compounds not found anywhere on the periodic table. And then there's the Vatican security footage. At exactly 3:33 a.m. on the night before their deaths, all 3 cardinals simultaneously rose from their beds, walked to their windows, and stood completely motionless for precisely 17 minutes, staring at the same point in the sky. What were they looking at? Beneath the Castel Gandolfo complex, the Vatican's summer residence outside Rome, something exists suggests that doesn't appear on any official architectural plan. 3 underground observatories, each one monitoring specific coordinates in deep space, coordinates that were not chosen by Vatican astronomers. They were provided. A former Vatican research scientist recorded a series of encrypted testimonies before her death in a Geneva hotel room. In those recordings, she describes technology that makes the Hubble Space Telescope look primitive, quantum sensors capable of detecting organized consciousness patterns across cosmic distances, and receivers that translate non-human communication into mathematical equations. In 1991, Vatican scientists established two-way communication with what was classified internally as intelligence designation Omega-7. These entities communicated that they had been monitoring Earth for over 12,000 years, that they had been directly influencing human religious and cultural development since the earliest civilizations, and that humanity was approaching what they called the convergence, a predetermined threshold at which our species would either evolve beyond its current limitations or cease to be relevant to the cosmic order entirely. They also provided a warning. Massive energy signatures were already moving through deep space on a direct trajectory toward our solar system, originating from the exact coordinates the 3 cardinals were staring at when they died in 1978. In the 1960s, a Benedictine monk and physicist named Father Pellegrino Ernetti claimed to have built something that should be impossible, a device capable of observing the past. He called it the Chronovisor. The Vatican dismissed it publicly, but internal documents tell a different story. According to those records, the Chronovisor successfully recorded over 847 hours of footage spanning 12,000 years of human history, and 89% of that footage was immediately sealed under direct papal orders. The fragments that have surfaced describe what was recorded in terms that are almost impossible to process. Footage from 8000 BCE showing advanced humanoid beings, nearly 8 feet tall, elongated skulls, luminous skin, conducting what can only be described as genetic procedures on early humans, at sites that correspond precisely with every major religious location on Earth: Jerusalem, Vatican Hill, Mecca, Mount Kailash. These same beings appear across more than 200 separate time periods, always at moments of critical human development, present at the construction of the Great Pyramid, present at the events described in the Book of Exodus, present at the signing of every major religious text throughout recorded history. And in every single recording, they carry identical crystalline devices, devices that emit the same quantum signature found in the temporal lobes of the 3 dead cardinals in 1978, October 13th, 2023, exactly 106 years after the final Fatima apparition. Satellite monitoring systems detected a massive energy surge from the coordinates of the classified Vatican facility, a spike unlike anything previously recorded. A former researcher recorded a deathbed testimony in a Moscow hospital describing what happened that night. Instead of the usual outbound transmission the Vatican sends every October 13th, something came back. Consciousness patterns, 17 of them, ancient non-human intelligences, stored somewhere in deep space for millennia, transmitted directly into the Vatican's crystalline network. The effects on personnel within range were immediate and profound. Children in Vatican City began displaying cognitive abilities that exceeded measurable limits. Swiss Guard members exhibited physical capabilities beyond human biological parameters, and 17 Vatican clergy members began experiencing shared memories, not their own, but detailed recollections of events on other worlds thousands of years ago. When researchers cross-referenced these accounts with the oldest documents in the Vatican archive, texts that predate Christianity by thousands of years, they found exact matches: star charts, mathematical formulas, biological diagrams. The same intelligences that shaped humanity's ancient religious history are now transmitting directly into human consciousness through artifacts stored beneath St. Peter's Basilica, a plan 12,000 years in the making. The Covenant Pope Pius XII, referenced in 1954, is entering its final phase. The celestial visitors are 847 days away, and when they arrive, humanity will finally learn what we were actually created for. The documents are real, the timeline is real, and the questions they raise have no comfortable answers. If this is the kind of truth they don't want you to find, subscribe to Vanished History. New discoveries every week, because the deeper you go, the less the official story holds together.